Now I do not intend to abandon my dichotomy between what I call human and what I call android, the latter being a cruel and cheap mockery of the former for base ends. But I had been going on surface appearances. To distinguish the categories, more cunning is required. For if a gentle, harmless life conceals itself behind a frightening war mask, then it is likely that behind gentle and loving masks there can conceal itself a vicious slayer of men's souls. In neither case can we go on surface appearance. We must penetrate to the heart of each, to the heart of the subject. Probably everything in the universe serves a good end. I mean, serves the universe's goals. But intrinsic portions or subsystems can be takers of life. We must deal with them as such, without reference to their role in the total structure. The Sefer Yetzirah, a Kabbalist text, the Book of Creation, which is almost 2,000 years old, tells us, God has also set the one over against the other, the good against the evil, and the evil against the good. The good proceeds from the good, and the evil from the evil. The good purifies the bad, and the bad the good. The good is preserved for the good, and the evil for the bad ones. Underlying the two game players there is God, who is neither in both. The effect of the game is that both players become purified. Thus, the ancient Hebrew monotheism, so superior to our own view. We are creatures in a game with our affinities and aversions predetermined for us, not by blind chance but by patient, foresighted engramming systems which we dimly see. Were we to see them clearly, we would abolish the game. Evidently that would not serve anyone's interests. We must trust these tropisms, and anyhow we have no choice, not until the tropisms lift. And under certain circumstances they can and do. And at that point, much is clear which previously was occluded from us, intentionally. What we must realize is that this deception, this obscuring of things as if under a veil, the veil of Maya, as it has been called, this is not an end in itself, as if the universe is somehow perverse and likes to foil us per se. What we must accept, once we realize that a veil, called by the Greeks dokos, lies between us and reality, is that this veil serves a benign purpose. Parmenides, the pre-Socratic philosopher, is historically credited with being the first person in the West systematically to work out proof that the world cannot be as we see it, that dokos, the veil, exists. We see very much the same notion expressed by St. Paul when he speaks about our seeing, as if by the reflection on the bottom of a polished metal pan. He is referring to the familiar notion of Plato's, that we see only images of reality, and probably these images are inaccurate and imperfect and not to be relied on. I wish to add that Paul was probably saying one thing more than Plato in the celebrated metaphor of the cave. Paul was saying that we may well be seeing the universe backwards. The extraordinary thrust of this thought just simply cannot be taken in, even if we intellectually grasp it. To see the universe backwards? What would that mean? Well, let me give you one possibility. That we experience time backwards, or more precisely, that our inner subjective category of experience of time, in the sense which Kant spoke of, a way by which we arrange experience. Our time experience is orthogonal to the flow of time itself, at right angles. There are two times, the time which is our experience or perception or construct of ontological matrix, an extensiveness into another area. This is real, but the outer time flow of the universe moves in a different direction. Both are real, but by experiencing time as we do, orthogonally to its actual direction, we get a totally wrong idea of the sequence of events, of causality, of what is past and what is future, where the universe is going. I hope you realize the importance of this. Time is real, both as an experience in the Kantian sense, and real in the sense which the Soviet doctor Nikolai Kozyrev expresses it. That time is an energy, and it is the basic energy which binds the universe together, and upon which all life depends. All phenomena draw their source out of and express. It is the energy of each entelechy and of the total entelechy of the universe itself. But time, in itself, is not moving from our past to our future. Its orthogonal axis leads it through a rotary cycle within which, for example, we have been spinning our wheels, so to speak, in a vast winter of our species that has lasted already about 2,000 of our lineal time years. Evidently orthogonal time or true time rotates something like the primitive cyclic time, within which each year was regarded as the same year, each new crop the same crop. In fact, each spring was the same spring again. What destroyed man's ability to perceive time in this overly simple way was that he himself as an individual spanned too many of these years and could see that he himself wore out, was not renewed each year like the corn crop, the bulbs and roots and trees. There had to be a more adequate idea of time than the simple cyclic time. So he developed, reluctantly, lineal time, which is an accumulative time. As Bergson showed, it goes in only one direction and is added to, or adds to, everything as it sweeps along.